Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to a new video. So, a lot of stuff has been, or a lot of things have happened recently, both account progress and skilling updates related, that I figured now was about a good time to make another one of these progress videos slash talk about whatever comes to my mind videos for a little while. I think the last one was sometime in like November, wasn't it? November or December. I was also doing lavas then, but I've done a few things in between. But I did just recently hit 50 mil runecrafting XP, which is a pretty nice milestone. I think I hit that on Sunday, and I've been really busy since then, which is why I haven't made this video until now, and haven't gained that much XP since then either. But yeah, 50 mil runecrafting, I'm a quarter of the way to 200 mil, and going to keep working towards that and see if I'm able to accomplish it. I'm not really sure. It will take a very long time still. The skill is somewhere around 70k XP an hour roughly. So I'm still a good over 2,000 hours away. So yeah, it'll take a while, but I feel like getting 200 mil runecrafting would be probably the thing that I want in this game the most right now, and having both mining and runecrafting would be just really, really cool. I would love to have that on my account, so still enjoying runecrafting, still feeling motivated for it, and I think I will continue to train it for quite a while and see where that takes me. As far as skilling related updates that have happened recently, quite a few. Well, today was the all of the skilling updates from the skilling quality of life poll that happened a couple weeks ago. So pretty much all of them have at least some effect on skilling. The main ones that really affect me are they updated the runecrafting cape to now have the perk of your pouches never degrade. So I mean, basically what you had to do before is NPC contact every 9 laps to keep your pouches not degraded, and you still have to do that if you're not 99, but if you are 99 you don't have to. And the NPC contact time was, I think it was like 8 or 9 ticks or something per cast. I never actually really kept close track of it, but basically it does save a little bit of time, and I calculated it should increase my XP rates by about 1.5k per hour doing lavas, so not massive, but I mean it is something. For 200 mil it saves like 50 plus hours. Imagine just over 50 hours of just the NPC contact spell that it's saving me. Pretty crazy. But yeah, I think I kind of like that it's, I mean, I'm not really too bothered that it's there. It is a slight devaluation to the skill, I guess, but whatever. And like NPC contacting did require a little bit of practice to get the timing just right, and also counting the laps took a little bit of effort. So I think that it's good that like people without 99 will at least have a bit of that experience before they graduate into the slight ease of post 99 runecrafting in comparison. But yeah, I myself, I think I do like it now. I mean, did 50 mil XP with the NPC contacting. I don't think I'm gonna miss it. And now in my inventory I just carry an astral rune stack rather than a rune pouch with astrals, airs, and cosmics, since I don't need the airs and cosmics anymore for this. So I can just have my rune pouch contain only the runes I need for farm runs, which is kind of nice, and it simplifies my bank a little bit. The other update that really affects me that happened today is the update they did to the Brimhaven agility course. I made a guide about Brimhaven not too long ago, and I've done probably around like 300 hours of Brimhaven, so a decent bit. At 99 it was about 67k XP per hour, and you could still fail obstacles even at 99, and today they made it so that you can no longer fail obstacles at all in the course if you are 99 agility. So of course that does increase the XP rate a bit. I did about 4 hours of testing today, and it seems to be around 70 to 71k XP per hour. The only thing that it changes is the obstacle rate, so the amount of tickets and the XP per ticket you get is the same, but my obstacle rates before were like 24 to 25k, and now I'm getting around like 27.5 to 28k on obstacles, so that means that if you include the XP from tickets, then it brings it up to, yeah, a bit over 70k an hour seems like about what you can expect. So if you want to be an efficient post 99 agility person, then you will be able to get like 70k XP an hour, and Brimhaven is the way to go. I streamed it today, and a lot of people were asking me like, is this the best course now? And the answer is like the course has always been the best for like a year, since they updated the ticket XP to be based on your level. But now it's just a bit better than it was before for people who already have 99. One thing I kind of wish they had done is instead of just making that benefit not be for people with 99, they could have evenly scaled up the success rates so that like at 98 you have a very low very low fail rate, I mean, and then at 99 it's 0, so that, like, all the way through it would be an increase to the success rates there. But I don't know exactly how that would affect things at every level. Maybe it would be too overpowered at certain level ranges or something like that, but I feel like that doing it that way would still mean that at 99 you have a 0% fail rate, and then at lower levels it's a bit more worth doing also, which I think would be kind of nice. Brimhaven I just think is great content, and I'm glad for anything that doesn't, I mean, it's not like a crazy buff, but anything that, you know, incentivizes people to go there and put a bit more effort into their agility XP. I guess the other major skilling related update that happened today is shift click dropping, and a lot of people have been asking me in my stream and stuff my thoughts on it, and while I'm not terribly opposed to the concept of there being something like that in the game. I mean, I've tried it out a tiny bit, and it doesn't, I mean, it functions very, very similarly to using mouse keys in terms of how quickly you can drop and stuff like that. I'm not sure yet whether I'll use mouse keys or use shift dropping when I'm doing like wood cutting and that kind of thing, but I'll just have to see once I get to that point. But my biggest, the biggest thing I don't really like about shift click dropping is that I feel like it's a kind of short-sighted solution to a bigger issue, in that you know, they've implemented shift dropping now, so if you turn it on in the game and you press shift and then you hold shift and then you press and you click on an item, it will drop it, rather than like so. I can just drop those very easily. But there are lots of other right-click menu options that people want to interact with. As you can see, I mean, I'm runecrafting right now. I'm not using that at all. I'm using mouse keys because shift dropping isn't exactly helpful for emptying my pouches or withdrawing stuff from my bank or anything like that, or accessing the right-click options on my cape or on my dual ring. And I feel like a better solution or a better system they could have implemented, and this is not my original idea, by the way. Creds go to Jebrum for this idea. If you have a right-click menu open, you just press a corresponding key. So like the 1 key would be remove here, the 2 key would be Warriors Guild, the 3 key would be Fishing Guild. Like on a normal item, it would be 1 key is use, 2 key is drop. Those keys would only activate those menu options when you have the right-click menu open, and of course you could toggle that feature on and off. And that way, it would cover every single right-click option that anybody could ever possibly want to do, rather than just covering one option, which is drop. So, I mean, the concept of shift dropping doesn't really bother me too much that it's in the game, but I feel like they could have implemented a more broad scale system that covers the bases better. Another little thing that came out is weedless farming, which is it costs 50 points from the tithe farm minigame, and when you have it unlocked, none of your farming patches will grow weeds anymore, that's just a nice little actual quality of life thing, which I liked. I already unlocked it. It takes like less than an hour to get 50 tithe points. Nice little thing. I got rid of my rake and probably will never use a rake again, so that's pretty cool. So I may have mentioned some things that I've done here and there in previous videos, but I figure I may as well just talk about like what I've actually worked on this account since the last one of these type of videos. So the last video that I made, I was at 23 mil runecrafting, I think it is. I was doing lavas and considering doing them long term, which I'm still, I guess, doing / considering. And since then, you know, I've done like 27 mil runecrafting XP, and I've done a few other things also. I did that bit of Slayer, which I talked a bit more about in my most recent Slayer related video, mainly just for the purposes of testing to see what kind of ratios I could expect to get from Slayer in my melees and in Magic and stuff like that in comparison, and basically came to the conclusion that if I do Cerberus Slayer for my money, then I don't need to do any more Nightmare Zone, so I stopped doing Nightmare Zone since then. I used to do Nightmare Zone a lot in my classes or while doing homework, and like I could still do it. I mean, it wouldn't really hurt because it's just time that I would be working on homework anyways, and it doesn't really take anything away from that, but I kind of like the idea of keeping my total XP lower and trying to just get XP in the slow skills first and be high in the EHP rankings and lower in the overall rankings, and also just if I don't have to do Nightmare Zone, doesn't really I don't really feel any desire to do Nightmare Zone. I mean, I would get more EHP, but EHP is kind of arbitrary anyways, because it's not really more EHP for how I plan to play my account anyways. And And I also determined that as far as magic goes, I will be doing a decent amount of barrage tasks, and I do not need to do any more magic imbues for anything other than this, where, you know, I have to do magic imbue. But basically it worked out pretty perfectly, is that the magic XP I get from runecrafting will put me at like just about the magic XP that I would need to have the rest of it be gained through Slayer with barraging. So I should be around like 110 mil magic after 200 mil runecrafting, and then get about 90 mil from doing Slayer. So that will work out pretty nicely, and it means like during fishing or hunter or whatever else that I may have imbued during, I will not be imbuing. Also agility is a big one. And that's kind of nice also because it means it allows me for a little bit more fletching instead, which is also kind of a 0-time skill, but I most likely will do my fletching with only broad bolts, which will be a lot of broad bolts, but I'll be able to do it basically free, maybe even profitable, because I mean 0-time is 0-time, and broad bolts, while they're I hate this button so much. But yeah, broad bolts are like a lot lower XP per fletch than something like myth or addy darts, but I mean, if I'm doing it 0-time during other skills anyways, then 0-time is 0-time, so may as well save a lot of money. And I can, from the calculations that I've done so far, it seems like I should be able to get 200 mil fletching through broads just while doing wood cutting. I'll do 2-tick wood cutting, and using fletching to break the wood cutting cycle is really easy to do. And then during agility, I can get a fair amount of, or a decent little bit of fletching XP while doing Brimhaven pretty easily, and then anything else I can easily do during hunter also, because there's a bit of downtime between traps if I'm doing red chins at times, and I can always do some fletching during Slayer also. So yeah, that will work out pretty nicely for those skills whenever I get around to actually doing some fletching. But anyways, so in the past few months, yeah, I runecrafted for a bit. I think I stopped from 23 mil at like 27 mil or so. And I did a couple weeks of Slayer. I went from 20 mil to 25 mil Slayer. So that was a bit of fun, made a little bit of money off of that as well since I was doing Cerberus, and my kill count on Cerb went from I think like 1.8k up to 4.7k now. And my luck there wasn't exactly like great. I think I've only gotten 6 primordials, and they're 1 in 512, so I should expect to have like 9 by now, but oh well, it'll probably catch up to me eventually if I keep doing Cerb. Did not get the pet either, but that's not really a huge concern. And after that, I think I runecrafted for a little bit, and then raids came out not too long after, and I did raids, made a video about that. But yeah, I did raids for like around a week, made like 120 mil since I got a nice prayer scroll drop when they were like 530 mil. I think it was a 5-man split on that, so over 100 mil on that drop, which was sick. And since then, I've just been back to runecrafting. That's pretty much all I've done, but when the whole AHK ban thing happened, I did do like 5 mil Hunter XP from 20 to 25 mil there also, because Hunter is an easy left click only skill, and I hadn't figured out how to get my mouse keys set up properly for doing RC again, which I did manage to get figured out within a few days, and is of course what I'm using right now. And yeah, I've just been runecrafting pretty consistently since then. My EHP gains have been nothing crazy lately. I mean, my weeks have been usually like under 40 EHP, which is like unheard of for the entirety of last year. I think I averaged, I mean, my year was like 3,400 or 3,500 EHP, so I averaged like nearly 10 EHP a day last year. I played so much. Mostly, well, a lot of it was because I could play so much during this summer. I had like a 4-month summer, and yeah, so far this year, just my classes have been a bit more time consuming, and I've had a lot of stuff to do basically, and I'm also in the process of applying for internships for the second half of this year, so been very busy. IRL gains haven't been quite as good, but still making steady progress and still enjoying the game. It's a nice relaxation tool, especially lately with a bit more stress. And yeah, I definitely predict that my gains for 2017 will not be nearly as good as my 2016 gains, but should be a good year for the IRL gains, if you want to call them that. But yeah, I think at least for now, my tentative plan is just to keep runecrafting and see how far I get. It's potentially possible for me to get 200 mil runecrafting by the end of this year if I stay consistent with a decent amount of hours, nothing crazy. So that might be what ends up happening. 2017 might just be the year of the lavas for me, but we'll just have to see how that goes. I guess one thing that, though I've addressed before, maybe I should address again, is smithing and the free-to-play ultimate, which tend to kind of go hand in hand. So I'm still at 153 mil smithing. I haven't trained it at all in a while, you know, since I stopped. And it's honestly becoming less and less appealing to me. I don't think I'm going to train it anytime soon. I don't know, I mean, it's just the thought of having like only really good 200 mils to start off with anyways sounds really appealing, and I kind of feel like smithing would ruin that, because it's not like, I mean, it's a decent skill, but it's not like a super crazy skill. And I know that's a stupid reason, but like just the thought of having only like mining, rune crafting, and then probably I would do like fishing and agility next, just be so cool. So yeah, I think smithing is going to stay where it is for a while. And I think also I probably will do the last XP with golds at Blast Furnace whenever I happen to get around to it, rather than continuing the rune. Just because it's better XP, and I would at least like to try Blast Furnace. I've hardly ever really done it, and it looks kind of fun. And as far as the free-to-play ultimate, yeah, a lot of people ask about it, and yeah, it's insane how it's pretty much been my most popular thing on my channel, other than my like big 1 to 99 guides that have gotten tons of views. And yeah, I mean, I enjoy playing it a lot, and that being said, I haven't played it in quite a while. It's still 85 smithing, haven't played it since like November. And really the reason for that is just because my main account is always my main account. It's always going to be my priority. It's always going to be the account that I care about the most, and I want to keep making consistent progress and doing what I enjoy on this account. And it becomes a lot more difficult to do that when I'm trying to play another account at the same time, because the skills that I enjoy the most are the most click intensive skills pretty much. I mean, lavas aren't like crazy click intensive compared to like mining or whatever, but I still feel like it would just be kind of stressful and uncomfortable to try to play another account while doing lavas, and just so far I really haven't felt the desire to. Like, I sometimes do want to continue playing the account and wish that I was still making progress on it, but it just never enough to want to try to deal with lavas plus another account. And also, I don't know, the free-to-play, the Southwest Varrock Iron Mine has just become so crowded, even worse than it used to be. In every non-total level world, there's just so many bots all the time, and they never do anything about it. And so those worlds are basically unusable, and then the 2 total level worlds, there's like 5 people crammed in, or 5 people per world crammed into the spot trying to compete for ores. And if I was playing that account as my main focus, I could easily compete. I mean, I can use snow to tick manipulate and basically beat everybody, because the free-to-players don't tend to know how to do that kind of thing. But if I'm trying to focus on my main, I can't do something like that, and so I end up just missing ores pretty much all the time, and it takes forever, and it just gets kind of frustrating. So yeah, it's pretty much just a matter of priorities, and can't do everything at once, unfortunately. But I'm sure I'll continue playing that account sometime. I just don't really know when. And yeah, I mean, that's really the only reason I did smithing on my main, is because I was really getting into the free-to-play ultimate and wanted to be able to focus on it a bit more. And my solution to, you know, that desire, and also fulfilling the fact that I don't want to lose progress on my main, really was to do smithing, which still kind of lost progress because I could have done gold, really. Not that I had the money, but I mean, in the future I could have done gold. I wasted a bit of time, but I'm not really too worried about that, because I guess I am still a non-alt user who needs to actually spend time making money, and I did make a good amount of money off of it at least. So yeah, that's that. I mean, I know a lot of you will see this video, and you can, I mean, feel free to keep asking about the free-to-play ultimate, but yeah, if you would mind not continuing to ask about the free-to-play ultimate, that would be lovely, because it does get kind of tiresome to keep answering the question. But I am really glad that you guys enjoyed it so much. I did too, and I'm sure it'll be back sometime. Like, that's all I can really say. Let's see, what else? Magic and farming are those 2 skills that tend to just kind of go up on their own. Magic is nearly 80 mil now, which is pretty cool. Just slowly gaining XP. It's like 14k an hour magic while doing lavas from those imbues. Not too bad. And my farming XP is creeping up towards 100 mil, 96 mil right now, so probably like 3 weeks or so, and then I'll be at 100 mil, which would be pretty cool. Just, well, I don't know, maybe like a year and 3/4 or something like that until I get 200 mil, so maybe I'll get it before the end of 2018. That would be lovely. Just the thought of life without farming is just so beautiful. Let's just imagine you can just sit at the fishing pond for like weeks on end and never have to leave. That just sounds amazing, but it's always the grass is greener. Maybe I'll miss farming after I'm done with it. I guess one other thing I could show is that I did do a significant reorganization of my bank recently, so I guess I could show that off a little bit. I don't know if I can show everything in my bank, but so this is my runecrafting tab right here, and basically the way I built this, or the reason that I even have this tab, is because it's kind of a silly little reason, but you notice that the tab is exactly the size of one page of items, and I always have it scrolled down like this, and this is because if I have it like this, and sometimes I like press and hold the item, or press and hold the essence instead of clicking it, then it will drag the bank down. And if I show you, for example, like with this tab here, if I had like a full tab and went like this, it would like scroll down a whole bunch real quick, and it just got irritating. So I decided to make a separate tab, do this. It's like if I do this, nothing will happen, and it's beautiful. So that's why I even have this tab in the first place. And then I just have loads of dual rings, loads of binding necklaces, that's everything I need for 200 mil, and loads of staminas. These plus these are everything I need for 200 mil there. 4.7 mil essence right now, I'm still working on buying that. I need like 13, probably like 14 mil S right now, so I still need to buy quite a bit more, and need to buy a lot more earth runes too, but those are just slowly buying in the GE. And then the rest of the tab is just Fashionscape stuff. I originally just filled it with my extra ancient pages so I could fill the tab, and then I've slowly been migrating in the various Fashionscape that I've been switching between while runecrafting. It's been quite a interesting Fashionscape adventure. And then I have one of each type of charged ring in case I need to, like, I always want to have them synced up properly with the binding necklace charges. And then this here is my main tab, which is still pretty similar to how it's always been, though I always go through different organization phases of it. So the way I have it organized right now is I just have all of the farming items that I could possibly need in this like 3x8 area up top here, except for these. It's kind of annoying, but what can you do? So like for a regular tree run, I can just do a nice like switch like this and withdraw all the stuff I need real quick, which is wonderful. And then if I need to do a palm run also, then I can just bring out a few extra little items. So that's nice for like helping me to remember, like to see if I've remembered everything, because even after, what is it, years now of farming, I still forget my farming stuff sometimes. And then I have stuff for fishing because I go to the pond sometimes, like if I'm eating, I might go there to AFK and stuff like that. And I've got the stuff for take manipulating there if I want to also. And then I have my items that I use for Brimhaven, my diary cape to teleport there, which I think I trimmed it or something, so now I don't have it. Where is it? Can't type. Diary, there it is. Yeah, I need to fix this real quick. Kind of like how it looks in the inventory icon on trim. But yeah, this is the closest telly to Brimhaven. I need the Chromja gloves for Brimhaven. Fletching stuff, since I usually fletch there. This is how many tickets I have. That's like 13 mil XP worth of tickets, which I plan to continue storing them until I have enough to turn in for 100 mil XP, or, well, not 100 mil XP drop, but 100 mil XP in a very short period of time. That would be cool. These are just some broads that I made today, and then some stuff for Hunter just to fill the rest of it, or fill the rest of the top page anyways. And then I've got just some more stuff I use for skilling, like pyramid plunder stuff, wood cutting stuff down here. This is all the stuff I need for 2 ticking, fire making stuff, and I've got a fair amount of redwoods. I bought those at like 550 each, thinking like there's no way redwoods are gonna go lower than 550, like that's absurd, and now they're like 430 or some shit, but maybe they'll go back up, and if not, then I'll just burn them. And then I've got little collections of some of the items that you happen to pick up while doing different skills. These are all of the 5 kg blocks I chose to bank while doing mining. Basically, I just carried some of my inventory to block out certain spaces, and then whenever I banked for a farm run, I would just bank them instead of dropping them. Same goes with the teak logs and the fish and the stuff for plunder, and my battle staves that I still buy daily. And what else do I have? This is my collection tab, all of my collectionist, completionist type of stuff. Got the Gold Castle Wars and all of different quest items, all of the naval sets, all of the what's it called, Barbasalt stuff, naval flags, whatever these things are called. Got every single heraldic thing. I don't even know why. I've got all the graceful sets, and you'll notice random pages just taking up the spaces here because like I have my graceful boots in this tab because I wear them sometimes. Yeah, I've got every single graceful set. I got the Brimhaven one when it came out. And just, yeah, other collection stuff. I moved all of my champion scrolls and my monster heads into here, and here's the rest of the ancient pages, all the duplicates that I got while filling my notes journal. And this is just Slayer stuff, Slayer supplies and Slayer drops, and this is just other basically junk gear and like half decanted potions and shit like that. And this tab is just like utilitarian whatever stuff. It's kind of useful, but don't use it that often actually. So that's what my bank's looking like. That's what my my account is looking like. That's what my life is looking like. Probably talked about pretty much everything worth talking about in this video. So just gonna keep runecrafting and slowly progress towards that eventual 200 mil. See if I can make it or not. I'm not gonna commit to it too much, so don't roast me if I stop. But 200 mil would be cool. So we'll see. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the ramble. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys all later.